Today we're looking at the new expansion to Western Legends called Blood Money from Kolossal Games, and it's going to be on Kickstarter. Thank you for joining me today at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. If you're not familiar with the original base game, Western Legends, this is an open world adventure game for 2 to 6 players set in the American Wild West, published by Kolossal Games. Players take on roles of different characters trying to gain legendary status. There was even an expansion released last year called Anti-Up. And Kolossal just sent us a prototype copy of the new expansion called Blood Money. Western Legends Blood Money adds a bunch of stuff. In order to play it, you're going to need the base game Western Legends and the expansion Anti-Up. There are 8 new character cards that you can play with. Of course, they all have special powers that you can activate once you reach 5 legendary points, and they all have their personal goal cards too. Blood Money introduces the legendary story system. You'll place the new storyboard over the story card area. There are story cards that go on the storyboard that not only enhance the thematic element to the game, but also drive what players may want to do. These story cards have different conditions that you may want to complete. When you complete one of the conditions, you'll place one of your story discs and gain any rewards listed. Some of the cards only need 2 conditions to be completed and some need 3. It just depends on the card. At the end of turn phase, once all conditions have been met, you'll turn the card over, read the story, and all players that contributed gain the rewards and then possibly any consequences. And a new story card is then revealed. The storyboard also has a story track that players will move their cubes on the track, gaining rewards along the way. There's a few different ways of moving your cube up the track. There's some story cards that will let you do it. There's this risk die that is introduced into the expansion as well that you are allowed to roll on your turn, but it is called a risk die, so there's some risks involved. If you decide to roll it, you first gain a bonus of your choice. Draw a poker card, gain $10, or move your character 1 space. That doesn't count as a move action. Then roll it and gain the results. SP lets you move your cube on the storyboard track, gaining injuries if any blood drops. If you would gain more wounds than your maximum wound count, then you gain an injury card and resolve the text. You can only have 1 injury card at a time, so if you have an injury card and you're going to gain more wounds, then you have to actually start discarding poker cards, which isn't good. You have to heal yourself of all wounds in order to get rid of an injury card. Blood Money also introduces the Traveling Trader. It has its own deck of movement cards, revealing one at the beginning of the game to place the token in that region. If you're in the same region as the token, you can interact with the Traveling Trader to pay for items. Legendary items cost $40. Once interacted with, draw a new location and the Traveling Trader moves there. Another part of Blood Money is the claim cards. They correspond to the different locations on the game board. As an action, you can purchase one only if you're at the location that matches the deed and pay the cost listed. These grant you one-time special abilities in the game and legendary points at the end of the game. There's also a repair action that you can take on your turn because some story cards actually ruin locations and you can repair them when a location is ruined that makes that location unusable. There's also some new poker cards and map tokens that some of the story cards use. Now, I thought Anti-Up was a pretty big expansion that came out last year with the new board, the train, and I was really surprised with all the stuff packed into Blood Money. It makes it a more sandboxy experience. I think one of my favorite things in the expansion are the story cards. It just adds a more thematic element to the game. There's actually a set of A story cards and B story cards, duplicate on the front, but the resolution on the back is different. That really helps with replayability. And you'll only go through a few of the story cards in a given game, and there are a bunch in the box. The new characters are great with their special abilities, and I love the artwork. It not only fits the theme, but fits seamlessly into other Western Legend content. Now, even though I said the story cards are probably my favorite addition to Blood Money, the risk die is a pretty cool mechanic too, because it can be really beneficial to move just one more space to get to the location that you need in order to complete your objective that you're trying to get, or $10 more, or an extra poker card. And there's even, if you roll it well, the story points moving up the story track. So there's that, but there's also the risk involved with getting injuries, which you really do need to be careful of. So if this sounds like something you would enjoy, then check out Western Legends Blood Money from Kolossal on Kickstarter. And as always, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button on this video. Set in the American Wild West, published trying to gain legendary status. There wasn't even